Sarah, and I'm back to remind you that if you can commit to staying active for even 12 minutes every day, you'll stay on that path to being stronger and fitter. Today's 12 minutes focus is on flexibility. So we'll be down on the floor and you'll need some space to stretch out. It's important to stay flexible because it keeps our joints healthy and it just helps our body move better and prevent injury. We've got time for 16 exercises because we're going to do 45 seconds at a time for these stretches. Starting down in a child's pose, go ahead and take your knees wide. Bring your big toes together behind you. Sit your hips back towards the heels and just stretch those arms out in front. We're going to lengthen the spine here, so tuck the chin down towards the chest. Walk the hands forward and really sit those hips back. And you can rock side to side, just loosening up the hips and shoulders here if you'd like. Take some deep, gentle breaths as we stretch to help the body ease into these stretches. At the bell, we're going to come up to hands and knees for some cat-cows. So stay in this child's pose until you hear that ding, lengthening the spine, stretching out the upper body, staying with those gentle breaths. Start to bring those hands up under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, and you're just going to round the back, pressing into the palms, tuck the chin and the tailbone in. And then you're going to lift the chest, lift the tailbone, and drop that belly button down towards the floor. So exhale as you round, separate the shoulder blades, and then inhale as you lower that belly and pull those shoulders back and down. And just do these at a pace that feels good to you, warming up the spine, loosening things up. We'll be on all fours for our next stretch, so get comfortable here. If you need to fold your mat to add some cushion under the knees, feel free. Reach one arm out and then bring it down underneath the opposite arm. Pressing that shoulder down on the mat, you're just going to stretch the shoulder here and enjoy this twist through the spine. Then press into that hand that's on the mat. Take a big breath in and reach that arm up, stretching the chest. Exhale, let's bring it back down for our twist. We'll just do this a few times. Breathe in and reach up towards the ceiling. Open the chest. Exhale, stretch out the shoulder here. At the bell, we simply switch sides with this stretch. Try to keep the hips square. As you twist, that arm under the other arm, stretch the shoulder out. Then big breath in, reach that arm up and back. And then back down and under. At a pace that feels good to you, enjoying this twist through the low spine. Stretching out those shoulders and the upper body. At the bell, you're going to pick one knee and just bring it down in between your hands. You can hold these stretches or you can move a little bit faster, but we're going to take one knee, bring it down in between the hands, bend the other leg back behind you, and then just take that back knee and lift it up, set it down, up and down. Your knees are bent about 90 degrees each. And we're just going to loosen up this back hip by lifting and lowering that back knee, keeping the foot on the floor. For our last 15 seconds, we're going to windshield wiper the knees. So bring the hands behind you and just rotate those knees back and then bring them forward. So just loosening up the hips here. At the bell, we're going to settle with that other leg in front. And same thing, pick up the back knee, set it down. So now we're loosening up the other hip. Keeping both feet down. Just get that movement in the hips. And then for our last 15 seconds, we'll go ahead and windshield wiper one more time. Getting these hips ready for our next stretch. So just pick up the knees, rotate them back, and then bring them back in front. At bell, we'll want to settle with that first leg back in front. To stretch out the hip and glute. So turn the chest over that thigh and just walk the hands out to bring the chest down. You should feel a little stretch on that outer hip and glute. And if you need some more, extend that back leg and roll your hip up and over the heel, making sure we're not pulling on this knee joint. And you can just rock side to side here if that feels good. Exhaling to settle into the stretch, letting the body soften and release. Just breathe gently. You determine how far you take this stretch. So you may still be up and supported. You may be all the way down over that thigh. Let's change sides. Bring the chest down, walk the hands out. You can stay lifted and supported. You can extend that back leg and bring the heel up and over. You can rock side to side. You can play with where your heel is. You can bring it out a little bit. You can pull it in. Whatever feels good for you, just explore the stretch. And then at the bell, we're going to take our legs out in front for a forward fold. About 8 more seconds here. Explore the stretch. Find what feels good to you. And then sit tall. Extend your legs out in front. Try flexing your feet. And then keep the chest lifted and walk the hands forward until you can no longer take them out. And then try rounding the back. Tucking the chin, and then maybe release the flex of the foot and just settle into the fold. You can rock side to side. We're not forcing anything. You do get to do this one more time towards the end of the stretch. So for now, keep it very gentle. Just ease into it. With every exhale, see if you can go a little bit further. And at the bell, you're going to bend the knees. You're just going to bring the soles of the feet together and pull those heels up towards your hips. Hands are at the ankles. Sit really tall. Roll the shoulders back, and then use your elbows to press your knees out as you start to pull that chest forward. So big stretch for the inner thighs, inner hips, and a little bit of those outer hips. Maybe rock side to side. Maybe start to pull yourself a little bit further into the stretch. Keep it gentle. We don't want to force anything. We don't want it to be too uncomfortable. We want to be able to breathe gently through each stretch today. At the bell, we're going to pick one leg and just extend it out to the side. Keep the other leg tucked in. Flex the foot, turn your chest, and walk your hands out. So gently come forward. And then when you're ready, you can start to round the back and roll down into it. Maybe lose a flex in the foot to help us go a little bit further into our stretch. So you might be feeling some low back here. That's fantastic. If you want a little bit more, reach that hand outside the ankle and give a little pull. And just breathe gently. Enjoy. At the bell, we'll simply switch sides. So tuck that extended leg in, straighten out the other leg, turn the chest, start with the foot flexed, walk the hands out. When you reach a point where you can no longer take those hands out, go ahead, round the back a little bit, maybe lose the flex in the foot, and just ease into your stretch. If you want more for that low back, reach the hand outside the ankle and just give yourself a little pull. We're not forcing it, we're staying gentle. We're easing into it. Exhale, take it just a little bit further. When you hear the bell, let's take those feet back out in front. Flex the feet, sit really tall, walk the hands out until you can no longer take them, and then round the back and see if they go just a little bit further. And then point the toes and see if that chest can drop over the thighs just a little bit closer. this stretch should feel a little bit easier than it did the first time. So let's relax into it. Try to take it just a little bit further. Lengthen those hamstrings, relax the low back. At the bell, you'll simply sit comfortably and sit tall. And just roll the head from side to side a few times. Let's loosen up the neck here. Just tucking that chin down, rolling the ears from one shoulder to the other. And then bring the head to neutral, and we're just going to roll the shoulders. Really exaggerate. Up, back, and down. And then bring them forward. If you want to take it to some big arm circles, you can. Whatever feels good to you, just start to release that tension in the shoulders, in the neck. We're going to stretch out the neck and shoulders to finish up today. We'll pick one arm to start, take it out to the side, turn the thumb down, and then just take that hand back behind you. You can use the other arm to pull it across a little bit more if you'd like. Let the shoulder roll forward, and then drop your ear towards the opposite shoulder. And if you want a little bit more, bring the hand to the top of the head and add just a gentle pull here. Letting that shoulder fall forward, releasing the tension in the neck. If you'd like to change the stretch, start to turn your gaze towards the floor and bring your fingers gently to the back of the head now. A little pull for the neck. Take one more breath and gently, slowly bring that arm out. A little hug. Switch sides. Arm out, thumb down. Bring that hand back behind you. Maybe a little pull. Shoulder falls forward. Ear drops to the opposite side. Adding that gentle pull with the opposite hand if you'd like. You don't have to. You can just let gravity bring you into the stretch. Maybe turn your gaze towards the floor. Walk those fingers to the back of the head. Changing the stretch just a little bit. Take one more breath. And slowly, gently bring that arm out. Give yourself a big, big hug. Round the back, tuck the chin, roll forward.
Activity completed.
Come up, couple neck rolls. Activity completed. You did a 12-minute stretch. So this video is great for those days that maybe you're feeling stiff or unmotivated. It's perfect to add at the end of another 12-minute workout just to help you stretch it out if you've got a little extra time in your day.